up, guys? Welcome to the Fomo Factory. I would love to discuss why you should not be too heavily buying altcoins right now. There is a lot of money to be made in crypto, but you can still lose a lot of money. But also, you can get way better entries. So let's talk a little bit about Bitcoin, about altcoins, about the Bitcoin dominance and the best chances we are going to get. I know these are not the typical videos you like to see. I understand that you rather see these kind of videos.
Agreement. So this would happen instantaneously, somewhere between $10,000 and $35,000 a coin. And
yes, we would love a 10K to 35K XRP. But you know, if I am going to make these kind of videos, that's not what we're going to do, of course, right? Let's try to keep it real and let's try to make some money right here. So with that being said, welcome to the Fomo Factory. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification, give the video a good smash on the like button so it knows you are here. That would be beautiful. Now let's take a look at the market. This video is pre-recorded one day before, so the prices are a little different, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the subject right here. What's important is that people are really into altcoins. I would love to get an opportunity to buy the best altcoins right now so we can really make some enormous gains. And the time to talk about that is coming. I'm going to be completely bullish about altcoins. I'm going to be talking a lot about altcoins, but not just yet, because if you buy altcoins, you lose money. Or at least you miss out on bigger returns. And I will show you exactly why and also what my strategy is for the people that don't know yet. Because I think 2023 is the year where we prepare to change our life in 2024 and 2025 at least, right? But it's not that you are going to 100x your portfolio this year, probably. You can be lucky, but you know, that aside. So what's up? What am I talking about? Well, that's what everybody always wonders. Look, Bitcoin is doing great, right? Bitcoin is doing great. And we had this downtrend since November. We got rejected right here. And what happened is beautiful. We broke out, had a retest, went back up, had another retest right here. We had a little fake out, but you know, pretty good retest. And we went back up all the way again. We also made a higher high of 26.4, 26.5. That's incredible because Bitcoin is really showing some strength right here. So Bitcoin is doing great. We're still struggling around that $25,000 level. What we really want to see is, of course, you know, closing well above 25.3, let's say, have a couple of days closure and slowly grind up from there, right? And then we can maybe talk about 28, 29. For now, 25, you know, maybe by the time you watch the video, but at the moment of recording, 25 is still a struggle right now. So that being said, a lot of people also, they still feel like, yeah, but Bitcoin can make a lower low. And some people on Twitter say that. We had some discussions lately about that in the Fomo Factory Telegram group. Nice place, be there, I would say. My counter argument would be, is what I said a lot on this channel as well. It was a horrible last 1.5 years. We had COVID, war, extreme inflation, macro circumstances are really terrible. We are like the first macro bear market. We had bankruptcies, Luna, Celsius, Voyager, FTX. We now had Silvergate Bank, USDC temporary depegging. Every single collapse that you can think of happened in such a short period of time. And it's Bitcoin's best bear market so far. It's price-wise, at least, time-wise. It's you know, on average, right? It's not the longest bear market if the bottom is in, but it's also not the shortest bear market. I can show you very simple right here. So why do I say all this? I want to give you some perspective first. Because if you know how Bitcoin is doing, and you are going to find out what my strategy is to make the most money on altcoins, you first need to know a little bit about this stuff. So if you look at the ROI after cycle peak, so the green line is where we are right now. And the red line is the bear market in 2015, and the orange line is the bear market in 2018. So what happened? If we take it to the bottom, the green line where we are right now, which was here, right? You'll see that it's a slightly longer bear market than in 2018. It's a shorter bear market than in 2015, but it's way higher than these two bear markets. Here we went a lot lower. We had an ROI of 0.16, give or take. So that's 16% basically. If 100% was the previous top, then 16%. So let's say, let's say nothing. I think you get that. So price-wise, very good bear market. So my counter argument would be that if we see a new bottom, what needs to happen? Because what I just lined up of the bad events that happened, and it's still Bitcoin's best bear market so far, then what does it take for us to really see a new low? We really need to see some horrible things all at once, at the same time, like a Binance collapse, like a, I don't know, World War III, recession, all at once, you know, a couple of black swans that pop, 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 pop. But it's not something that you, these events are not something that you feel like, okay, this is going to happen. Maybe one of them, but all three at the same time. Apart from that, the charts don't suggest that we are going to make a new low. Very simple. Why not? We have a 4-year cycle. So far, we have a 4-year cycle, which always plays out. We have an accumulation phase. We have an upward trend. We have a bear market. We have an accumulation phase, and then it starts all over again. The blue line is the Bitcoin halving, and from the halving is usually when we go pretty parabolic, as you can see right here. We had the halving. 2 months later, parabolic. Here we had the halving. Well, also give or take 2 months later, completely parabolic. A year before the halving, we already always go up quite a bit. That's the red line, right? Give or take a year before the halving. That's where we go up quite a bit. That's exactly this line. I moved it for some reason. It's around here. So what stands out to me is that we are now there, right? The halving is around end of March 2024. So a year before that, just give or take right now. And the cycle hasn't changed so far. It's not any different than any other cycle, to be honest. So if that's all not different, then why should this be different right here, right? Also, if we look at the monthly stochastic RSI, for example, also once we were oversold 2 times that we did that, what happened on the chart? Here we were oversold. At the bottom, we went out of that area and we had that bull run here as well. Oversold was at the bottom. We came out of that area and we started the bull run. Here we were oversold, bottom, and we are now getting out of it. So it's and these are a couple of reasons why the charts suggest that it will be okay. Doesn't mean we cannot make some kind of a double bottom maybe. Like if there's really a, big black swan event or really something bad or whatever, we can definitely go down. And in my opinion, 18.5 is a decent level to presume that would be a very good buying opportunity. If we ever see around 16, 15K again, yeah, consider yourself lucky. That's the best chance you are going to get, in my opinion. Nothing suggests that we should go lower than that anymore. So with that being said, what does this have to do with altcoins necessarily? Well, it's about my strategy. Because I said, don't go too heavy on altcoins yet. Why is that? Well, if we look at Bitcoin just had a pretty decent run, right? I mean, we went down a lot, we went sideways a lot, we went up a lot, sideways a lot, up a lot. If we look at the Bitcoin dominance, what is it doing? Well, although it's also, of course, moving a little sideways and a little down here and then, it's basically going up since September 2022. If we look at Bitcoin, September 2022, it was here. So it went all places, first very much down and then very much up. But the Bitcoin dominance basically only went up from there, right? So it just means that Bitcoin is outperforming altcoins still. And I said this many times, and it's not necessarily my find, it's Benjamin Cohen's find. But I agree so much on what he says about that. It's Bitcoin season. And it makes no sense to be in altcoins right now. I am in altcoins because I am just DJing and I like to risk a little more. But if I want to look on the risk-reward ratio side of things, it's very much better to be in Bitcoin. One, there's way lower risk. I mean, you know, altcoins can still be securities. They're way less or they're way more volatile. You don't know what's going to survive, right? So there's way more risk with altcoins. And two, Bitcoin has better returns. And you might feel like that's bullshit, but it is the truth. And that's exactly what you see right here. Because if Bitcoin, if altcoins were to have better returns than Bitcoin, then you would see that the Bitcoin dominance would go down. Right, that altcoins outperform Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is outperforming altcoins for the last half year. And of course, there are always exceptions, right? We have a lot of altcoins that pop and that blow up, but you know, name 50 that really pop. You really have to think of it for a while, right? But you also have to remember that there are tens of thousands of altcoins. So the chance that you pick the exact altcoin or altcoins that are going to do better, that's a big risk. And why should you take that risk? Again, Bitcoin is outperforming and Bitcoin is safer for now. So therefore, my strategy is still very simple. I said many times, and I will keep saying this is the Bitcoin dominance, right? Will it ever get back here? No, because here we did not have that much altcoins. So basically all the money was sitting in Bitcoin. And even here, right, we had a lot of altcoins already. But, you know, what were really the use cases of altcoins in 2017, 18, 19? Like there were some. But now we really have some really good use cases and good altcoins and more experienced people in that world. So, you know, it won't get back up here, but it's very simple. You want to buy altcoins to make the biggest returns, right? And I will show you some examples in a while, but you want to buy altcoins to make the biggest returns, right? That's the reason why you like altcoins. How do you make the biggest returns with altcoins? With an altcoin season. Right? And what's an altcoin season? An altcoin season is the opposite of a Bitcoin season. So when the Bitcoin dominance is going up, that's a Bitcoin season and you should be in Bitcoin. So when the Bitcoin dominance is down, that's an altcoin season, right? So for example, this right here, this move was a freaking big altcoin season. This was really a big altcoin season, right? This right here was an altcoin season. How can we get an altcoin season if we don't have so much room to go down? And people could argue like, yeah, but we can come down there and make new lows. But based on what exactly? There is already a lot of VC money. There is already a lot of hype in NFTs. There is already so much going on and all. And we still did not manage for the last 2 years to take these lows out. So why all of a sudden should we take these lows out right now? Right? It doesn't make sense. Plus, in a bull market, Bitcoin is leading the bull market at first sight, right? So we first need to see Bitcoin going up, and that's what we see right now as well. Bitcoin is really doing very well, and you'll see that once that happens, the Bitcoin dominance is also going up. So you can imagine that if Bitcoin goes to 30K or even higher, that the Bitcoin dominance also goes up even further, right? So what's the strategy for now? Well, mine is, once we are at this level right here, this is where I will convert my altcoins into Bitcoin. Right, and once we are getting higher and higher and higher, that's where I will convert my Bitcoin into altcoins. Right, so now, not now, because Bitcoin is now sitting quite high. It's sitting at major resistance right now. So I'm now not buying anything though. But when Bitcoin gives us a good opportunity, I will keep buying Bitcoin. We had that opportunity a couple of days ago when it was $19,000, right? But a lot of FUD, people don't dare to buy them. But these are the opportunities that we get, and we will get them more. So don't be scared. Bitcoin will survive. It always did, right? So my strategy is buying Bitcoin. Ride the Bitcoin wave. Bitcoin can give you very decent returns. And once the Bitcoin dominance is getting higher, then I will partly, switch my Bitcoin into altcoins. And you can ask me like, what are the prices for altcoins when you would buy them? I don't really have set prices for that, to be honest, because I'm not interested anymore in dollar prices of altcoins. Because if we look at some altcoins, let me go to my gaming portfolio again. I don't know. Falcon Forge, for example, right? If we look at this, if you are in dollars and you don't apply my strategy, then buying around this range is fine, because I think that a lot of altcoins have already seen their USDT bottom. So if you are purely in dollars, then yeah, you can maybe buy at around the bottom. But that's still not the best way to make the most money out of it, right? Because when we look at Falcon Forge Bitcoin, for example, this chart is going down, 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 making new lows. So if you are in Bitcoin, then you can also buy this altcoin with your Bitcoin later at the Bitcoin pair bottom, right? So you'll be even more cheaper, because you are in an asset. The benefit of this strategy is that if you buy Bitcoin, altcoins bleed against dollars, but altcoins also bleed against Bitcoin, right? So if you are in dollars completely, for example, then you risk missing out if Bitcoin has such a run it just had, right? So then you are not exposed to the market. But if you are in Bitcoin, one, you do not miss out, because if Bitcoin rallies, you make gains anyway. And two, your altcoins bleed against that Bitcoin still. So you can later buy these altcoins back anyway. For example, if you look at Cardano, for example, it's just one of the, couple examples that we have right here. But if you look at Cardano, here we go. I don't know what I'm doing. So if you look at Cardano, it was going down, 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 down. Trend has changed a little bit, right? At least not much. I still don't see very much strength in Cardano, but from the bottom to where we are right now, Cardano is up 43%. So that's decent, right? So if you feel like I want to buy Cardano at the bottom, yeah, you're far from that. 43% from the bottom, right? So that's maybe not the best place to buy it. But if you look at Cardano Bitcoin right now, it's sitting at a lower low as we speak, right? It keeps on making lower lows, right? This week is lower than the week before. That week was lower than the week before, etc., right? So Cardano keeps on falling. So therefore, I'm saying it's not the right time to buy altcoins yet. And a lot of altcoins look like this. A lot of them don't. I mean, Phantom, for example, did pretty well, right? Does pretty well against this Bitcoin pair. It's decent. AVAX, still you know, meh, at its low, right? It's hanging there, but it's probably going to fall as well, and it could go a lot lower. So if you feel like, yeah, I want to buy AVAX, yeah, if you look at the AVAX dollar pair, you could say like, okay, it could fall like 36%, right? And then we are at the bottom at its dollar pair. Maybe. That could happen. But it's a lot. It's a lot higher than that, right? On the Bitcoin pair, it's already sitting at its current bottom. And if we go find the next bottom, where we might be going, then we will be sitting at around 50%, right? So it's so much better, in my opinion, to do this. And for the people that feel like, yeah, but, you know, what if it doesn't go lower? And what if I miss out, right? Well, if it doesn't go lower, it probably means that Bitcoin doesn't go lower as well, right? So then you just make returns on your Bitcoin. Right, so I mean, it's very simple. If we look at Bitcoin, let me check if I can have the right chart right here. Here we go. This is the channel that Bitcoin has been in, right? That it's been following. So if it keeps following this, you know, end of 2025, we could be sitting at a 400K Bitcoin. Right? Sounds really stupid, like, what? It's 15 times as high. Yeah, name one cycle where it didn't do at least a 15x, right? It's not that unrealistic, though. But even 150, also fine, right? So you won't miss out anyway. And it's just very unlikely that this is, when we look at the dominance, that this is the high, right? That it never gets higher than this again. Like, really unrealistic. So when would I deploy? To give you a little more clarity about that, well, I look at two charts basically. I look at this chart, but I also am going to look, and I will share it with you a lot more, at this chart, dominance from into the cryptoverse, because this is quite interesting here. On this chart right here, you can see the dominance, but this includes stable coins, right? So how accurate is this actually? So if we look at this chart, you can exclude stable coins and look at the dominance, what it does. If you include stable coins, okay, it's sitting here right now, cool. But if you exclude them, look how it moves. It's completely different, right? So it's basically been going up since May 2021, grinding up slowly but steady, making higher highs and higher lows, right? So the dominance is actually already sitting almost at 50%. Right now, I can say that it looks like there is some resistance sitting right here. So apart from what the Bitcoin price is going to do, I think that altcoins compared to their Bitcoin pair should, you know, could possibly shoot up short term. But over the longer term, and I am talking about probably Q2, maybe even Q3, I think this could go up way more. And we could have way better opportunities. So what I'm doing is basically this. This is the channel that it's been in, right? So if I draw it like this, give or take, right? Forget about this line for a while. So here we go. Let me make that yellow as well. This is kind of what I'm looking at for now. This is basically the range, right? It's pretty clear that this is the range since April, May 2021, so almost 2 years right now. It's ranging between 48% and 39%, give or take, right? Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It's now going to the upside, right? As we are getting closer to this 40, 47, 48%, here is where I will deploy some more Bitcoin into altcoins. Not too much though, but as this is the range for the last 2 years, I can imagine that once we get there, we go down again as well. And it's possible that we don't get there exactly and that this is the top and we go down now as well, which could mean that the whole market is coming down, or which could mean that we get a mini alt run. That's possible. But risk reward overall not worth it for me to deploy all my Bitcoin into altcoins just yet, right? So this is where I will deploy a part of my Bitcoin into altcoins. And I think like 25% give or take. Something like that. And once we get to around this area right here, where I have drawn this line, I think I will deploy some more here at around 53%. And if it gets there, I will deploy the rest here at 58%. These are my targets. I won't deploy everything of it because I want to keep some Bitcoin in my wallet. I don't want to be alt only. Definitely not. But these are my levels. 47%, 53%, and 58%, right? And it could take 1% difference, give or take, doesn't really matter that much. So if you ask me like, okay, look at, for example, here we go. Let's find an altcoin, Ultra or whatever, right? Ultra. FOMO, when are you going to buy Ultra? Well, if I'm going to buy Ultra with my dollars, you know, then it's a complete different story. Then this looks like a fine level to me right here, 17 cents or so. But if we look at Ultra Bitcoin, when are you going to buy Ultra? I can give you these levels like, okay, 0, I don't know, 701 Satoshi, 395 Satoshi, right? I'm not spending too much time looking at these charts right here, to be honest. I'm just looking first at the Bitcoin dominance chart. Where are we? Where are we right now? And how are my alts looking then? That's my strategy for then. But a lot of alts, I just want to show you one more time a couple examples so you know what I'm talking about right here. I'm doing this portfolio giveaway challenge, for example, right? And we have set up some crypto portfolios of YouTubers. BitBoy, let me take a look at that. So if I was going to buy this with my Bitcoin, which I think is a strategy that will make us way more money, which worked in the past, so I don't know why we should not do that right now. You can see right here, for example, again, Cardano still making lower lows, right? It's down only, basically. The lower lows in for now. No reason. Like, if you buy Cardano right now, then I don't know why, right? Because it's still falling. Algorand also broke its support, right? There is not even much, you know, data for now, except for this wick. But that's it. Algorand not looking good. Came from far. Also, newer lows. How's Filecoin looking? Yeah, a little bit stronger, but still, you know, overall the trend is quite down. I think H-bar should be a little stronger. Yeah, it's a little stronger, but also sitting at its support right here. Internet Computer, you know, also down only. And it looks like maybe this is a good accumulation phase, by the way. But again, if the dominance shoots up, then this could crash and goes into price discovery mode to the downside as well, right? So don't pin to like, oh, this is support. So we can always break support. Therefore, it's support, right? It's to break it. IOTA, like, terrible. It's been down only since it came out, basically. I don't know why I have this in this portfolio in the first place. Fucking sucks. Matic's very strong. There are a couple of exceptions that are super strong. Matic, BNB, Ethereum, crazy strong, right? So yeah, super good. Quant, also quite strong, but now also finally starting to show weakness, right? People were shilling Quant here, like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 Quant coming. Yeah, no, it's now twice as low, and it's like also. No, a lot of room to go down still, in my opinion. XDC, let me take a look at that. Also hanging at support right now. And that's crazy, right? Because everybody, Bitcoin is doing great. 25K at the moment of recording. And I'm showing charts right here of altcoins that are hanging on tight last support or just broke it. So what are we talking about altcoins? Come on, XRP. I don't know what the fuck this chart is doing, to be honest. XRP, basically since 2018, down. No. So that's my strategy. Just buy Bitcoin. I am, well, not financial advice. I'm not a Bitcoin maxi. Absolutely not. But I am looking to make the most money with altcoins. And for example, like with Cardano, it's very simple. If you want to make money with Cardano, for example, in a bull run, we will get higher than where we are right now, right? So yes, you can buy right now and at the end of the day make gains. But let's, what if we go back to the previous all-time high? I don't know if we do. We didn't take out this high in this market as well. So I don't know why we should take out this high right now. But let's take it as an example. What if you buy, Cardano right here? 360% gains. Cool. It's a 5x almost. Is that what you're doing it for? Right? Plus, I think we could go down way more. I don't know, again, where. But let's say we go to this support point. You first have to suffer another 30% loss, maybe even more, right? For a 360% gain. But let's say that it goes down even further and it goes down to around this level. Then you can make a 560% gain. Or if it goes down here, right? Then you can make a 800% gain. That's more than twice as much that you can make. We have not suffered this bear market and tried to learn and survive this for a freaking 4x, right? We want to get more out of it. So that requires patience, to be honest. It requires patience, right? So in my opinion, take advantage of the Bitcoin dips. Have your patience, and when the time is right on the Bitcoin dominance chart, it's time to strike. That's my thesis. And sorry for making it long though. I do have an altcoin bag. Absolutely. Because there are just altcoins that I like so much, I'm not risking to miss out on in case I'm wrong. Because I could be wrong. That's something I need to consider as well, right? But the theory that I just spoke about, I'm so convinced about that I don't want to, base all my money on the fact that I could be wrong, all right? You want to take it both in consideration. So yeah, I have an altcoin bag. I'm gonna see how it plays out, and if we do now go down, for example, and we get a good altcoin run against Bitcoin, then it's great, because then I can offload some altcoins to Bitcoin again, right? Trade it that way a little bit. So you're trading to make the most out of it, so you can later, really profit from USDT. Because my mistake, honestly, was very stupid. I was so focused on my cash portfolio. When I looked at the peak of the last bull run, and when I look at my cash portfolio right now, I'm down, but not that much anymore. But if I look at the Bitcoin value, I feel like, damn, I did not make any progress. I could have got so much more Bitcoin, but I'm basically, if I just sold my Bitcoin, or kept my Bitcoin like 1.5 years ago, and it did nothing, learned nothing, did nothing, I will be at the same freaking place right now. It cost me a lot of energy. So in that case, I feel like, man, let's stack sats, man, and it will be okay. It will be okay. So the altcoin market. Eventually it will be okay, because this falling wedge right here, well, it's not a falling wedge, it's called a, what kind of a flag? I have to look it up, brain fart. But I know these patterns are, I have something very interesting for you guys. You got to screenshot this. Here you go, screenshot it. I found it from this guy, don't know him, but he made this list. Pretty cool. But let me take a look. Yeah, it is a falling wedge, by the way. So what was I confusing it with then? It doesn't matter. But it's a falling wedge, and these falling wedges, these usually, break out to the upside. So if you look at this, eventually this is the altcoin market, right? No Bitcoin, no Ethereum. Break up to the upside, and the target is usually the upper side of the wedge. But usually it happens like this: up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and then up, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that if we are here, like, oh yeah, then buy altcoins and we go up. It's not that easy, but give or take. But it does mean that altcoins still first have a lot of room, to fall down. 34% on the total 3, which is 50% on your altcoins, give or take now, because this includes stables as well. And these usually do not fall 34%. So I want to leave it here. I really hope this is helpful for you. I really want to make the most out of this with you guys. And I think this is the way. So yeah, whatever. That's it for now. If you like the video, please consider liking the video. If you have any questions, leave a comment. Check out yesterday's video, by the way, because I'm giving away a free DMA with a value of $1,000. So check it out how you can get that from Delysium, so you can get these free tokens and way more benefits. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.